morning, one and all. Outcome-based education, that is OBE. We are going to give a brief overview about that outcome-based education. That is the topic. In this first, outcome-based education, OBE, outcome-based education is a student-centric teaching and learning methodology. It is first important one is a student-based teaching learning methodology. Here the methodology is a student-based teaching and learning methodology in which course delivery, assessment are to be planned to achieve the stated objectives and also outcomes. Whatever the objectives and outcomes that is to be achieved for the course delivery, and also plan the course assessment according to that. It mainly focuses on, we are going to measure the performance of a student, that is outcomes of the particular courses at each levels. That means that particular program what he joined at different levels, what is the outcomes that is to be verified. And also the outcomes contains knowledge, skills and attributes. We know the knowledge, skills, attributes of that one can be achieved mainly by focusing on evaluation of outcome of the corresponding program through input parameter as well as output parameter. It mainly focuses on the evaluation of outcomes of the program mainly through input and output parameters, which are also very important. Now we are going to see what are the main addresses of OBE and what are the benefits for achieving this after that is OBE, outcome based education or completion of the particular program. What are the achievements of this OBE part in case of this one? First, it addresses what the students are to be able to do the task. That means previously he has some idea, but how it can be implemented, that are able to do that concept on this one, and also how best achieved. So there will be several number of variety of solution, but out of that, which one is the best one, and how whether the students have achieved, how they achieved, in what way it is achieved. And is there any further improvement, further enhancement of that particular this one? So this is a quality continuous improvement. Continuous quality improvement is nothing but the closed loop further improvement. Closed loop for the further improvement. That means here mainly we are achieving what the students to have to be able to do the task and how best that can be achieved and how will whether no the students have achieved it. And fourth one is closed loop for further improvement. Closed loop for further improvement, continuous quality improvement. Now here we are going to verify the benefits. Here the benefit one was it is a directed coherent curriculum. The curriculum is a direct and coherent curriculum. And the second one is graduates will be more relevant to the industry. That means whatever the concept that we achieved here in this, that can be directly suited to the industry environment. And other stakeholders more well-rounded to this graduate. The industry-ready people we are going to design, that we are going to get in this. That is the main advantage of getting by That is focus. If you focus mainly on OBE concept, so that automatically it gives a grounded, that is rounded graduates relative to that corresponding industry readiness people. And third one is continuous quality. See here, this is a program that is to be enhanced, improved further and further, so that it can meet the today's requirement. That means here the requirement that is to be available present can be modified or upgraded several days back. Present future generations are also adaptable to the technology, and further refinement of the structures of particular concept by usage of this technology can be more advantageous, so that that is a quality improvement. That is a continuous quality improvement, maintaining standards of Six Sigma. In case of CMM level 5 companies, those are achievements for this one. And what is the vision mission statements? Here we are going to define some statements. That statements are to be mainly focuses. It mainly focuses on what is the that is it should be a specific and simple. That is that vision mission statements, and this is written in a simple, very simple way, simple language, and it should be easy communicated, so that the objectives that can be defined, and the present near future of the institute. That means we are going to define this one about this vision with respect to the institute and departments also. But this anyhow, this definement is to be well defined, focused, and in a simple language. The statement should be written, and it is a well defined objectives, and this should be near future. And this vision statement is a dream of where one wants the institutes to be, and inspires all the stakeholders. Stakeholders' point of view, it is to be inspired. Whereas mission statements are actionable statements. Vision is to the dream where one wants to inspire to, and to reach there to, for all the stakeholders. So that is the point where we are going, like that we are going to see, say awakening the people, and that is one of the thing. Whereas mission, it is to be accomplishing the task accomplishable, that guides the stakeholders to act a particular situation. So that particular actionable statements are required in case of mission. And there is a formulation of vision and mission. How to do that one? This is a bottom-up approach, and also we are going to involve several stakeholders. Involvement of stakeholders requirement, and we have further so many discussions, wrapping up of the statements, brainstorming sessions, and SWOT analysis, gap analysis, and before the institute, institute challenges to be considered, and goals, long-term goals that is to be said, immediate and long-term goals that is to be said, and then we have to evaluate the vision mission statements for the based on above discussions. So all these discussions are to be carried out, and then that we are going to sum up with some idea, and then a strategic plan is to be implemented. Strategic plan is to be implemented. Here in this particular, we are going to say that a course or course outcome program, like that. So here course means a theory course or a practical course. Theory come practical subjects are also, some of them are defined, are specified in the given semester, given semester catalog information. This catalog may contain distribution of the theory semesters and combined together with lectures of the corresponding each semester wise and credit wise notification, credit wise information can be displayed. Suppose if you say compiler design, it is a subject. So we can say it is a theory course. And we have Python programming. This is a subject which is a theory come practical subject. So like this, some of the courses are defined are designed according to the curriculum. Those we can call it as a course. Whereas course outcome is nothing but statements are to be described for each course. That means while learning this course, some of them are achieved, and at the end of the course, these statements are these significant achievements are learned, and generally we are going to write three or more course outcomes and specified for each course based on its weightage. For each course, we are going to describe several number of course outcomes, 3 to 6 that can be written, and these are achieved. That means this describes each course outcome, describes a significant and essential learning that learners have achieved and reliably demonstrate at the end of the course. Then, what is a program? A program is to be defined as the specialization or discipline degree. So that is to be described as a program. That means here, for example, CSE is a specialized discipline of particular degree. ECE, like that, some of the programs are defined. EEE is another program, mechanical, civil. This CSE allied contains IT, CSIT. These are all courses which are related differently inside this comes under CSE only. So like this arrangement of interconnection arrangement of courses, co-curricular, extracurricular activities, and predetermined objectives which leads to the award of a degree. So this is the program which is joined and which contains this discipline, or this contains interconnected of all these. Whereas program outcomes, you have seen program. Now program outcomes means these are all narrow statements. Narrow statements, that means it describes students are expected. These are going to expected to do by the time of graduation. That means when he joined the course program, and that program is to be completed by the end of the completion at the time of this graduation. These statements are expected, and these are closely with the graduate attributes and closely with graduate attributes. Another one is program educational objectives. That is simply we can say that PEUs. The program educational objectives of the program are statements that describe that expected achievements of graduates in their career, and also in particular what are the graduates are expected to perform and achieve during the first few years after the graduation. See here, the program educational objectives mainly defines the goals, and they are expected to perform their and achieve during some years. Suppose if the program particular course 4 years of graduation, in this some first 1 year achieved some of the concept, in second year, later in third year, in fourth year of graduation, they slowly achieve one by one task, and they improve their career and also in terms of industry readiness and continuous enrollment. So that in that way it is defined the program educational objectives. And the program specific objective outcomes are nothing but these outcomes students able to do at the time of graduation with respect to specific discipline. That means here the PSOs are to be available for each of the course that is at the time of join the course at that time. For that particular program course, particular program, suppose CSC, that defines some PSOs relative to that course, relative to that program. And these are with respect to that discipline. EC, that particular discipline which have the courses outcome, program specific outcomes, and these are with respect to that particular discipline. So generally, which these are to be written 2 to 4 PSOs for a program. Each program we can write at least 2 to 4, maximum 4 programs are to be 4 PSOs can be written for each of the program. So these are all specific to each program. Suppose CSC is a program which has some PSOs and EC is a program, they are separately written with the separate PSO. So these are to be mainly satisfies that the student should be able to do at the time of graduation with respect to particular discipline. That means if it is a computer science, electronics, or electrical, or mechanical, or civil, like that, the computation it is. When another one is graduate attributes, the attributes are nothing but these are all exemplars of the attributes which are expected at the time of graduation. That means from an accredited program. We have this Vested account this 12 number 12. There are 12 number, and these are to be verified for each course, and these levels are also mentioned in this one, and these assessment outcomes based on Bloom's taxonomy. These assessments outcomes are based on mainly Bloom's taxonomy levels. So here we know that we say that in the previous slide 12 POs. So that 12 is numbered with this program outcomes. First and foremost one is engineering knowledge. Mainly it describes about the apply of knowledge, mathematics, science, engineering, and specializations to the complex engineering problems. Whereas second one, it is a problem analysis. Second one is a problem analysis. That means identify, formulate, review research literature, and analyze complex engineering problems, reaching sustained conclusions using first principles of mathematics, natural sciences, and engineering sciences. That means here we are going to analyze the problem with the review literature, and then this contains any conclusions using the principles of maths and engineering sciences. And third one, which describes about design and development of solutions. That means we are going to write design several solutions for the complex engineering problems, and also design some system components to meet the specified needs with appropriate considerations in terms of public health, safety, cultural, society, and environmental considerations. And the fourth one, it describes, fourth one is program outcome is conduct investigations of complex problems. See, here we are going to use a research-based knowledge and also research methods, which includes experiments, design of experiments, analysis, interpretation of data, synthesis of information, and these are to provide valid conclusions. And the fifth one, which that is program outcome, is modern tool usage. This is to be applied a tool. This is nothing but creation, selection, and apply various techniques, appropriate techniques, resources for the modern engineering and IT tools, including prediction, modeling, to complex engineering activities with an understanding of the limitations. That means for the corresponding course, there will be several number of tools which we can verify the results, so that based on that we can upgrade or move the further studies may be possible. That is the modern engineering and IT tools. And sixth one is engineer and society. Apply reasoning informed by contextual knowledge to assess societal, health, safety, legal, cultural issues and consequences responsibilities relevant to the professional engineering practice. That means here the knowledge of this these things are required so that the engineering and society can be applied together and get the current responsibilities for that person. Whereas the seventh one is environment and sustainability. Understand the impact of the professional engineering solutions in societal and environmental contexts and demonstrate the knowledge of need for sustainable environment. Eighth one is ethics. Ethics. We are going to apply ethical principles and commit to professional ethics and responsibilities and norms of engineering practice. Ninth one is individual and teamwork. Function efficiently as individual and as a member or leader in diverse teams and in multidisciplinary settings. That means here together work. Sometimes the work may be sought out with the help of several members and also a leader in the different various teams across different platforms. So that is to be achieved with the help of this. And this tenth one, communication. Communicate effectively on complex engineering activities with engineering community and at society at large. And these are comprehend, write effective reports, design, documentation, presentations, and project management and finance. Demonstrate knowledge and understanding of engineering management principles and apply these to own work as a member and a leader in a team to manage projects in multidisciplinary environments. And 12th one is lifelong learning. Recognize the need for have preparation and ability to engage in independent and lifelong learning in the broadest context of technological change. We have described about POs, PSOs, PEOs. Now here we know that one can have 4 to 5 POs, and all POs that is to be mapped to 12 POs, and that is to be described with the help of a matrix notation. That means what is the PO1, that is PO2, PO3. Like that we are going to write several. And what is the course, that is CO1, that is mapped CO2, and also we can write PSOs. Each PO is attained through a particular specific outcome also. So PO, the corresponding PO1, which is mapped to the corresponding, that is PEO, PS, course outcome or program specific outcomes, that is also to be whether it is attained through that one or not to be verified. Course outcome. Here course outcome we are going to verify with the POs are attained through program specific courses. Generally we know that course which has 5 to 6 course outcomes, and these course outcomes are to be stated that actually they are to be measured. So here the course outcome CO is to be represented with the help of, that is addressed as a subset of POs, and based on the number of COs, that means 5 to 6 COs, for each we are going to map the corresponding POs. That is to be called as COPO matrix. So we have to write CO1, CO3, 4, 5. For example of one course, each CO with corresponding POs, PO1, PO2, and like 12 POs are to be mapped, and then PSOs are also. So which of that one is to be considered PO corresponding CO and PO, that the mapping strength is to be identified, and to the relevant to that we are going to write this strength procedure. Later, which this are to be marked, these cells are to be marked with the corresponding numbers with the table, and then to the percentage we can attain or not verified. So this CO attainment is in alignment with the COs. That means question paper should be is to be set in such a way that all COs are to be is it getting the all COs or not, and also average marks are to be assessed, obtained from that obtained marks, average marks for each CO. What is the indication, and then calculating the CO attainment. So here the instructors are going to set some targets for each CO, say one that particular percentage 70% or 1.8. So that is to be course attainment, and this any gaps are available. This is not reached attainment or reached attainment. So if not reached the corresponding attainment, particular target, that is 70% or 1.8, that consideration, we are going to fill up these gaps. How to fill this attainment gaps? What is the identified gaps? So we have to plan some the course rectification with the reduction of these gaps by implementing enhancementing, or implementing some other new models, new topics, or extra problem oriented things, or the procedures to be implemented, so that it is to be further improvement and enhancement to attain the next target. And here the POs are to be addressed through the sequence of core courses and also COs. Each PO, we know that each PO can be addressed to the corresponding courses, course outcomes, the related. So now these attained targets can be selected for each CO. If the assessment is in alignment with COs, the performance indicates that that is a CO attainment. These measurements provide the basis for continuous improvement in the quality of learning. That means first initially we say that some model to be worked out, and we can going to say that that is the model that is to be implemented like this, and also through the result we have proved that this is the working. Now any refinement procedures are there, we can improve once again, and then once again we have to plan. So this is the cycle that is to be implemented, continuous quality improvement program, until we reach the corresponding target levels. The assessment levels are to be done with the help of that is quizzes, mid-semester exams, end semester exams, and then by implementing some tutorials and also some assignments, design of lab experiments, Viva Voice project, Viva Voice and seminars to be conducted, some feedback, aluminum and employer feedback, student feedback by considering exit surface. So this is the one of the evaluation methods. That here the assessment contains two things. One is direct assignment, and second one is indirected assignment. Here, in the case of direct assessment, exams and the assignment tests and also quizzes. the various assignment exams. So previously we have considered the exam marks also. So that is to be counted as part of this one. So here in this we have taken this here. For attainment of the particular CO, so the strength of the paper, the each question to be assessed with the help of this corresponding COs. And these are all in line with the COs or not. These assessments should be in line with the COs. Here the average marks each CO, and also we have to set some targets for that particular course, and this course is to be attained or not can be helpful with the help of this COPO. So here we are going to write CO related strength for each PO. So this particular PO, for example, here 33% or 60%, like this is to be measured, and this is carried out particular 60%, 40%, something like this, and this is the average attainment is to be calculated for each of the COPU, and this is to be attained with the direct and indirect assessment, that is with the help of quizzes, tutorials, assignments, lab experiment, project work, employer, aluminum feedback. These are all two types. One is industrial training, exit surveys, course surveys. Whereas assignments, tests, quiz, pilot projects, laboratory, exit entry. So that is to be considered as direct assessment, and indirect assessment is industrial training, exit service. We are going to evaluate the attainment of each CO, PO and PAOs. So this attainment level of each can be considered based on the attainment levels, and also any attainments is gap. We have to improve that attainment level once again to reach the correct target level. And this is the attainment if not get that one. So this continuous improvement, but that is PO set the PO setting, and then attainment targets for a CO, and then this is in alignment with COs. If that assessment is in alignment with the COs, performance of that students and that CO attainment. If that that particular course which has CO, and this for that the assessment is in alignment with the CO or not. If that is in alignment, then what is the performance of that student? That is in particular CO attainment through various forms, exit forms or question survey forms, and direct measure or quizzes or 80 marks like that average. So that is to be considered, and then we have to verify the that is to be monitored continuously with the quality of learning. So we have to change, no need to, we have to attain that particular target with the help of this one. So any gaps are to be identified. That means the level of this one. So CO1 with attainment, suppose if it is an attainment level. So here 2.2 we have reached. Suppose CO2 reached 2.1, CO3 1.7, CO4 2.3, CO5 2.2, CO6 2.1. So these attainment levels are reached by CO1, CO2, CO3 not reached, CO4, 5, 6. Why? Because here we kept this one as 1.8, the level attainment level, but here CO1 and 2 reached, 4, 5, 6 also reached. But for this subject, if that course CO3, particular course CO3, which is not attained. So not attained here, this attainment setting the target that is 1.8, and for this course and for this course the gap is identified. So this gap identification can be done with the help of enhancing the further improvement. That means here this gap is to be filled. This is the gap identified, and this is to be filled by implementing or improved further area. Scope of improvement, scope of improvement, and reach the attainment target levels, further levels that can be used. So this in this way we have to verify whether this attainment is or not. So for that particular course. So here this course is to be designed with this particular technologies and all that assessment tools, quizzes, and then that is to be considered as both direct and indirect, and based on this target level. So here we have seen 1/2.8. So you can raise this level. That means to 1.8 to 2.8 to 3, 3.2, something like that. We are going to raise each and every time, and we have to improve the attainment of that particular clause. That is called as improve the corresponding strategy to further levels. So first attainment level is to be maintained with the help of all the COs courses, and each time we have to improve that attainment level, and this process is nothing but a cycle of continuous improvement. That means first we set 1.8, then next reach level 2, next 2.8, 3, 3.8. So that is to be improved further with the attainment level. So this is the no complemency. So there is no stuck or point of stopping that one. It is a continuous one. And while refining this each attainment level, so we are going to get a good features. That means here excellence is the procedure only. There is no turn back this one. No compliancy, only excellence. Further new approaches with the new attainment levels and the scope of improving this one. So like this, we are going to define this CO's attainments with this level. So particular courses we can write several. According to that POs, we can write several PEOs for that particular course. That PEO1, PEO2. That means Program Educational Objective 1, Program Educational Objective 2, 3. And these are all mapped to the corresponding POs. These are all POs should be mapped to the corresponding POs. And this describes the what is the PO. While mapping, none of the POs are left out. That means we have to allocate that in such a way that it is suitable to all 12 POs. It should be mapped to the corresponding all in such a way that we have to formulate this statement of the PO. So then each PO is to be attained through this program specific outcomes. So program specific outcomes are also important, where this is to be learned at the time of graduation with respect to the discipline, specific discipline. These to be met or not can be verified, and generally we can write 2 to 4 POs for each of the program. So particular program, the program specific outcomes are to be written. So where graduate attributes, that is common to all programs. That means these program attributes are to be expected at the time of graduate for each one. But these are that means engineering knowledge, PO1, engineering problem analysis, design development of solution, for conduct investigations of complex problems, modern tool usage, engineer and society. And seventh one is environment sustainability, ethics, individual and teamwork, communication, project management and finance, lifelong learning. So these 12 program outcomes are to be available for all the courses the corresponding program which the student is to be joined. But the program outcomes are to be uh, compared, that means evaluated with the help of each POs, with POs and PSOs. So that specific outcome courses which have written for the program specific core courses, and these are to be verified with the program outcomes. And nearly you have to write for 6 CO program, six outcomes, 3 to 6 or 5 to 6 for particular course, and in that each module is to be defined with that particular state. So this is stated in such a way that whether this is actually measured for particular course or not by stating that outcomes. So these course outcomes and program outcomes can be related with the help of the matrix procedure notation, and we have to give a percentage with the corresponding each COPO and then the corresponding CO with PSOs. So in this way, we have to find the attainment for both subjective and also directive and indirective, and these are to be planned in a such a way that it should be implemented with this corresponding. So first we have to plan what is the description about that particular course and this one, and these are alignment or not. We have to verify, and then we have to say that this is our alignment. Then we have to through the course that is to be verified, and then it is proven. And then for our attainments are not reached, any further gaps are there, still we have to refine the procedure, apply it. So then that is the cycle which is to be continuous quality of. So these assessments are to be um, evaluated with this information as a direct and indirect. So this is to be considered as a part of this assessment method, Butler outcome based education. And these attainments are to be set to the targets with the higher levels, for each of the years, one by one increasing the step, and at the final we can receive the target levels by making so that we can see the great picture of this one. So these are the contents which are discussed, available in this, that is the book Michael Jason, that is the outcome based education. And, thank you. We'll discuss. This is the brief overview of this outcome based education. Thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.